I am originally from Washington State. What brought me here, aside from the wonderful weather, was the schooling systems, because I felt I had reached as far as we could go with Walter up there. I called the Y and I spoke with Megan. She said she had just transferred here and that she had had autistic kids in her class before, so she would be more than happy to have Walter in this class. The staff at the Y is fantastic. They treat him as they would treat any other child out here. He learned how to act like a normal child. So he was more disciplined, he was following rules more, and he was wanting to be like them instead of constantly regressing back into what he was around in his school classes. He is now mainstreamed. He sits with a para in the class with him, with a teacher who thinks the world of him. The teacher never has anything bad to say. He says he is helpful. He tackles each project that he gives him. He no longer sees the frustration levels that he saw when he can't do something. And it's a whole new world for him right now. The doctor had told me after his diagnosis to never expect to have a meaningful conversation with my son and to never get my hopes up for him to be able to speak.
How the YMCA changed my life. I forgot about I had autism.
It definitely took some pre-planning because we definitely wanted to make sure that we were catering to Walter. The positive was that Walter was able to interact with other kids and kids that didn't have disabilities or autism, and he was able to learn and grow. You know, it would have been fantastic to be able to have a space and say, okay, we're going to have a camp with staff and everything just for Walter and kids like Walter. And we would have been able to serve him, 100 times better.
I think we've done a lot with this facility. We've impacted a ton of lives in the community. There's stories, countless stories, but it's at the point where the facility's tired, it's old, it's done the responsibilities and help the folks that it could help. And how do we serve more? How do we bring this facility up to speed, up to the current times to make sure that we're really maximizing our ability to serve the folks that come into our doors?
I think the community has spoken for the need for the renovations of this YMCA. It's been here since the early to mid 80s, and we have already undergone several renovations in the more than 30 years it's been here. And the needs of the community have changed, and we need to address that. And the Y, being a charity and trying to provide the community with programs that it needs and provide it to the people who need them. Our first phase of our development will be to redo the aquatic center and create a zero-entry play pool for younger children, have a warm water therapy pool for our older population, and then have a lap pool for those of us who enjoy swimming laps. The need that the YMCA has realized across the state of Florida, as well as in Hillsborough County, that the #1 death or cause of death for infants under 4 in the whole state and the county is drowning. So we have an ISR program that is specifically targeted to help counteract that.
In the summer program here at the Y, he went on, I think it was every other Wednesday, he went on field trips, and I would hear about all these places that I couldn't bring him to because I was working. And he loved it. He learned how to swim, which he swore up and down he would never be able to do. And in fact, by age 4, he still was terrified of the water and wouldn't go near it. Walter has now passed his swimming test here at the Y, and according to him, he can swim in a pool that is up to 12 feet deep.
I have a picture of Walter that is in my office, and it's him and one of our counselors, Alex, and it's them at the aquarium. And Walter just has a huge smile on his face, and it's one of those things where you look back, and when I look at what I do and why I do it, kind of exemplifies that.
The Y is unique for several reasons. First of all, our mission is to serve everybody. At the end of our mission statement, it says for all. So we serve people of all income backgrounds. We're really a community center where everybody comes in from all different walks of life. We don't turn anybody away for the inability to pay. That alone makes us different from a lot of the other organizations out there. In addition, we have our focus on our 3 pillars, which are youth development, social responsibility, and healthy living, and we're really trying to impact the community in a greater way.
Well, I do internal rate of return calculations for a living and do that, so I can say that the rate of return on something like this is infinite. You can't calculate the return on the impact you have on a family's life.